Don in London, hello. It's December 27th, 2009, Sunday morning, and the world is starting to come back to normality, I guess. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol, my behaviour. Well, I could be as an alcoholic, cross-addicted into work, relationships, materialism, collecting, trying to fix the gap inside, trying to cover my fears, trying not to use my ego, but ego was ruling me. Very brittle, and underneath not very much to talk about in terms of substance. And these days I'm on a journey of finding out who I am on a daily basis, and that's good because there's plenty of room for growth. Now I've started to let go all the old prejudice about who I was and where I came from and what life I thought was about. Looking right, I thought I had to look right, be perfect, be the best worker, best person in a relationship, the ultimate drinker who could hold his liquor. And these days I don't need to hold any liquor. I don't need to be perfect at anything. I don't need to be anything but me, and see what life affords. What happens today is critical and crucial to my continued spiritual growth. And the reason why I use the word spiritual is simply because spiritual for me is living in the moment of now, being able to understand it and choose a path which works. So drinking didn't work for me in the end. It had me on the floor, in the gutter, looking up and judging people, and no way out, until I made the admission to myself I could not do this on my own. And fortunately for me, family, friends, community, professionals kept me alive long enough to make that admission. And having got to the admission, then I needed to find help. And I knew about AA, the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, but I never ever thought it applied to me. It only applied to other people, because I knew better. I knew I could beat this. But in the end, alcohol had me beaten and down and dying, and going to the hospital to be resuscitated is a place where I ended up, and I was still full of ego and bravado, covering up the fear of who I was and what I'd become. And that's the nature of the illness. We keep on being in denial even when we know it's killing us, or we deny it's killing us because we need it to get by, to take the edge off, to try and find that old feeling of conviviality, and it doesn't come back. All we do is become a processor of alcohol. So these days I'm very lucky. I'm in recovery one day at a time. I'm on the road of happy destiny. I'm not going to destiny. Destiny is now. I know what the final conclusion of living is, but hopefully it won't be today. At least I hope not. So what's keeping me sober? Definitely the Fellowship of AA, family, friends, society, professionals all play their part in it too, and an understanding of what it is to be in recovery. So where did I get that understanding of recovery? Simply by going to a fellowship where people knew how to keep sober for one day, and then some people managed it for days, weeks, months, years, decades. So I'm on that path of happy destiny. Sometimes unhappy, actually. It just depends what's going on, but at least I know what's going on today. So the fellowship has given me my unique, authentic outlook back, which is developing as time goes by. And the Fellowship of AA is full of unique, authentic people. I don't speak for them, never can, never will, never want to. That's the gift. We all find our authenticity again, and to be unique, and our path is as it is. So what is AA? This is the statement of intent, or the AA preamble shared at every meeting I go to, and it reads like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And that's it. Help others to achieve sobriety who have a desire not to drink on a daily basis. And that's the gift. We don't make it any bigger than it need be, to live in the moment of now. And it's imperfectly perfect, this moment of now, and it's ever present. So if we're able to access good choices in the moment, then at least we're on a path. And when I don't know the answer, or I need some help, I lean on fellowship, the many, the great and the good, if you like, who have got sobriety. And if it's a very personal issue, I might go to a sponsor or a friend who I trust implicitly to be able to feed back the truth of what I'm saying. And sometimes it's nonsense, and sometimes it makes common sense. But above all, AA, the fellowship, is about common sense, doing the next right thing and making it happen by taking the action rather than waiting to be fixed. So there's no fixing in AA. We all have to work hard at recovery, and if we put sober first, we've got a chance at being a part of family, community, society, and helping others keep sober. So I'm very lucky, and I went to one of my favourite Saturday meetings last night, which was on and at Eaton Square. It's normally a big meeting, and it was quite big last night because a lot of people coming back from family events. And you know, the most important thing when we go to family events where there's drinking going on is to have an escape route, to have a reason to be there for the time when we can be involved in happy goings on, and when life might be getting a bit out of sobriety for other people. It's often the time to go, because we will be forgotten. Our presence is not necessary. But I was very lucky. None of my family are like me. I'm very lucky indeed. So they don't have the malady. And I stayed and was a part of. And that's just all it need be, a part of. Not the centre of attention, not forgotten, just being a part of and included. And that is the real gift, to be included again in what's going on, whatever it is. And I shared readings from the literature of AA here, and we're coming up to the end of the year, and this is the Daily Reflections. And it covers the 12 steps of action for individuals trying to remain in recovery. And it is all about action, and 12 steps work in any one day, and it's life experience which makes them appropriate. And it talks here on the 27th of December about problem solving. Quite as important was the discovery that spiritual principles would solve all my problems. Through the recovery process described in the Big Book of AA, I have come to realise that the same instructions that work on my alcoholism work on much more. Whenever I am angry or frustrated, I consider the matter a manifestation of the main problem within me, alcoholism. As I walk through the steps, my difficulty is usually dealt with long before I reach the 12th suggestion, or the 12th step, and those difficulties that persist are remedied when I make an effort to carry the message to someone else. These principles do solve my problems. I have not encountered an exception, and I have been brought to a way of living which is satisfying and useful. And as I often say, you know, one of the 3 elements of living which are important to me is to love other people to love me back, and have something useful to do. And the 12th step of the programme is about sharing our usefulness. So, as I say at the end of these videos, there is a prayer to acceptance, whether we believe in God, or we believe in a higher power, or we believe in good conscience. And that serenity prayer is about can do, cannot do, and gaining the wisdom to know the difference. So whenever things are difficult, I say to myself with the serenity prayer, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is, for me, and always will be, just for today.